All right, today's session is just going to be more of an overview about Blackboard LMS from the e-learn unit. We're going to talk about course design structure. We're going to do a review session about the virtual class Collaborate, and we're going to talk about some of the Blackboard features, communication tools, assessments, and we're going to talk about assignments for the writing portfolio. Now, we're going to have questions and answers towards the end of the session, and we also want to let you know that we're going to have shorter video tutorials that's going to be made available soon. That's going to help you review before you actually be able to start your class. Okay, so if you don't understand, if it's too quick for whatever reason, don't worry. We're going to have a recorded session, and we're going to have some video tutorials, inshallah. All right, so we're gonna get started. Let me just make sure I record the session. So 1 second. All right, so now I'm going to have Mr. Shakir. He's going to talk, and we're going to have some step-by-step instructions afterwards.
Okay, Bismillah, assalamu alaikum. No one hear me, and hope you're all. Now, just have a quick look at the things that we're going to be covering in this presentation, inshallah. Right, so just for now, we're going to look at course design and structure and the importance of it. What's been happening previously is that I think for most of us is that we've been using the Blackboard platform just for our teaching. So we were using the Collaborate feature in the Blackboard, the virtual classroom, and we weren't really designing our course on the Blackboard management system, learning management system. So this is what we were going to focus on today. And so this is the course design and structure. So what we want to do is we want to make the content that we upload for our students, we want to make that content findable. And that involves an approach which is the predictable design approach, and where we organize and name the content appropriately. So let's have a look at what predictable design is. So predictable design involves an organized, structured, and intuitive approach. So what predictable design is that where you design the course, the content of the course, in a structured way, so that it makes it easy for students to predict where they can find a particular piece of content. And that is basically using a folder system, just like you have on your Windows laptops or computers. So here is an example in the slide of an unorganized approach. This is not using the predictable design approach. It's an unorganized approach. Here we can see on the screen, I hope you can all see this, where you have an area on the Blackboard. We've called it class stuff. And you have some items here. So we have unit 1 written here. You have the pacing schedule. And this is accessible to the students. We have a video on comparative adjectives. We have the writing portfolio and demo blog here. So these are just some things that we've just put into this area. We can see here that it's not very organized, because it says unit 1 here, whereas we have the pacing schedule just below it. Is that specific for unit 1? And then we have comparative adjectives, that might be for unit 1, it might be for unit 2. And then again, we have the writing portfolio here. What is this? Is this a general writing portfolio folder, or is it something specific to unit 1? And now you can imagine, now if we have more units added onto this, we have unit 2, unit 3, and so forth below, it will be very confusing, very difficult to navigate through. So the point of an organized approach is that we don't want to cause confusion in terms of navigating through the content. We want to make it something which is user-friendly, and where the items are categorized appropriately. So this is an example that is not the best approach, an unorganized approach. So let's have a look at predictable design now. So this is an example here, the top image here, of where we're using predictable design. You have week 1 here. You can make a unit 2, unit 1, or modules, etc. That's entirely up to you. It's your choice here how you structure it. But what we recommend is that you structure it like this in a folder system. So you have week 1 and then, or unit 1, and then you have readings, videos, assignment, and whatever else you want to upload for your students. So this is a good approach here. Now below, it's also somewhat of a predictable design. However, the issue here is that we have too many folders. And that's not what we want. We don't want to make it cumbersome for the students or even for yourself to go through several folders to reach your destination or to find the item that you're looking for. So this is not ideal where you have too many folders. We want to make we want to make it we want to structure the content, however, using minimal folders. Let's move on to the next part here. This is the organization here. Again, similar to before, these are 2 different approaches you could take. So you can have like a week 1 or unit 1, and you may put everything that you have for that week or for that unit into this folder for the students to have access to. So you have readings, videos, quizzes, etc. If you don't have too many. And the other approach here is where you just make subfolders in your original folders, your source folders. So you have week 1, and then in that folder you have subfolders, readings where you put the readings, videos where you put the videos, etc. So again, the main point here is that we want to use a folder system when we design our course on the Blackboard Learning Management System. The next thing which is important is naming also. It's important that we name our files and folders appropriately, and I'm sure you all know this. It's obviously important because it will make navigation through the content easier, and also in terms of content management for ourselves, it will make it easier. We can specifically identify what a certain content is related to. So here in an example here, we can see that this is a video, and we see here 5 steps in answering listening questions in an exam. It's very straightforward. The naming is appropriate. We know what it is. Present simple PDF here. Again, if you might want to make it even more accurate or precise, then we can just say unit 1 present simple. And if we have present simple in unit 2, then we can call it unit 2 present simple. Just to make it precise so that, again, we can navigate through the content easily. And again, it will prevent duplicates. So what we're going to do is now, that was just a quick overview of the course design, and we're going to have a practical look at the implementation of it on the Blackboard Learning Management System. And I'll just pass it over to Abdul Wahab now, and he'll go through that, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you so much, Shaka. Like you said, we're going to actually now show you some hands-on approach to the course design and structure and the tools. All right, now can everybody see the screen now? All right, I'm going to fix the audio issue. All right. So there you go. All right, so now we're going to show you the settings, setting up in Blackboard. All right, once you log into your section, you'll be able to, let's go back to the home page, sorry. All right, as a teacher, this is your class home page for your students. Over here, for example, I'm set up with section M13. Now, just like we talked about before, the menu bar here on the left is going to show in Arabic. So to change into English, above the little drop-down black arrow or triangle, you want to right-click and select Translate to English. And there you go. You're going to have the options in English now. To get started, you need to click on Course Guide. Again, guys, we're going to have short video tutorials available so that you can watch it step by step. This is a good overview or get an idea of how everything is going to look. So now here, if you look at the course guide, we have a bunch of folders we set up. This is just an idea of how you can set up your own course structure. So here we create a folder here called Course Resource Folder, and I will show you how to set up these folders. But you can click on the folder and you would have lots of items or content areas that you can upload for your students or create. For example, here we have the pacing schedule, the logo. You can create a folder for, let's say, vocabulary cards. You can create a folder for, let's say, writing portfolio content or templates, and so on. You know, folders that your students are constantly going to be going to, and that are not specific just to the unit. This is where you would probably want to put the content here. All right. Let's go back. Again, it will default right back to Arabic. In Arabic, it's called Dalil al-Muqarrar, but you can just right-click again and translate to English. So here we create a folder similar to like our pacing schedule to make it kind of easier for students to follow. So here, if you click on Unit 1 folder, we created two folders here: listening and speaking, and reading and writing. Again, if you have content materials that you want to add, this is a nice way to organize the materials and to have good course design. So let's say over here we click on listening and speaking, and then we have some content that we put in here. For example, a video, PDF document, we can create a quiz, and so on. Or we have reading and writing, and you can just put content. And we're going to show you step by step how to do that. But just to show you, we go back and we create it by units. All right. If you notice over here, this is what we talked about when we said that it's not a good design. If you just put a folder and just keep putting items, right now we only have a few items, but let's say throughout the semester you have a bunch of items, it becomes cumbersome, it becomes too much, confusing, and students will be scrolling over and over. So it's better to put it in a nice folder structure. All right.